Welcome to Silicon Valley Asian Business Talk. This is Roger Chen from University of San Francisco. In this video program, we interview business leaders, entrepreneurs, and leading experts from San Francisco, Silicon Valley, Asia, and beyond. This program is sponsored by University of San Francisco Center for Business Studies and Innovation in Asia Pacific.
I'm always interested in the challenges. What were some of the biggest challenges you faced in assembling the teams that you worked with? And what did you do to address some of those bigger challenges? I think that's something we could all learn a lot from.
Yeah, actually, just a background, Kashyap, just to remind, because I remember, if I interpret that correctly, I could be wrong. I think talking about the HyperTrack company, when you change your different version of the product, somehow you are dealing with that kind of a talent issues. So this is something, maybe relevant, right?
Absolutely relevant. And, Roger, we met at an event which was a tribute to Naren.
Yeah.
And, Naren actually helped me reconcile this question quite a bit, especially in context of HyperTrack, where, I had a great run as a leader where I would assemble teams, we would build something that would be successful. And during that cycle, even if it was not immediately successful, we would problem solve in a way where we would make it successful. We would, in some cases, sell the company, or in some cases, find a different market for what we'd built. And, there would be that gratification. And the gap between failure and success was a few months, right? It's when this failure and no out of it for several months or years is when the real question of when do you cut the cord, when do you persist, that shows up. And some of that happened at HyperTrack for the first time in my career. And it really made me doubt my leadership, and definitely there was room to grow there. And a couple of things Naren helped with, and he would say these pithy things that, you think about it and you get to realize months later, that's what he meant. And it sticks to you, right? So he says it in a way that sticks to you, but you still don't completely get it. And then you realize one of the things he said was to give people too much freedom is to not give them freedom at all. Like very Zen-like, like very interesting. And what I understood from that was the way I build teams is I hire people who are seeking freedom and autonomy, probably because that's how I am as well as an entrepreneur. And then I want to hold them accountable, saying, look, this is what I'm counting on you for. I'm making it clear that's what I'm counting on you for. And then do it your way, make it happen, because I'm fully trusting that you will make it happen. Now, if they're not able to make it happen, right, and they're failing themselves, they're failing me, they're failing the company. These are different ways people look at it, but really they're failing to deliver that promise. You need to set them up for success as a leader. You can't just say, okay, I gave you a break, I took a bet on you, and now you go make it happen, and keep reminding them that. Because if they are stuck, then you are stuck. And you've got to help them. And often that help means either, they need to leave, or it means you need to shift the responsibility to someone else, or bring someone who they can report to, or it means actually intervene and say, okay, let me get this for 1 quarter and I'll make this happen for you, and then get you unblocked. It can mean a whole bunch of things, but in some ways I was not doing any of that. I was saying, hey, remember, you've got to, listen, take your time, but you've got to figure this out. And they really were burning and imploding at the time, because they could feel the pressure. Their way of handling pressure was different than mine, just, different phases of life, different contexts or whatever. So something that simple, but, it was that insightful. Let me just leave it at that, where, to give people too much freedom is to not give them any freedom at all. In a more practical sense, you could translate that to, you have to set up people for success, and it becomes your responsibility to make them successful, where they have to hit success themselves. And there are many ways to go do that, but that's the responsibility of the leader. And sometimes that means figuring out that they might not be the right people for the job. That's the extreme situation. Even when they want to make it work, you want to make it work. It is only the leader's job to figure out that that's not going to work out, right? And you treat people right, and especially in a climate like this, where we're seeing so many layoffs happen, where the leaders decide, I want to do these experiments, I want to explore this market, and investors want even faster growth. So I have enough money in the bank, what more growth can I do? And then you realize that growth is not going to happen, right? And the leader's world is always, you're operating on hunches, because you're trying to predict the future. You will never know clearly, by definition, what the future is going to be.
Yeah.
So, but you have a sense of clarity, and that's why you're the leader. You have a sense of clarity of whether something will pan out or not, whether this person will succeed or not, or whether this line of business will succeed or not. And you have to make decisions based on that. And in doing that, treat people right, and do the right thing. And there was so much that came in with just that one sentence from Naren.